Hello everyone, welcome to the weekly Purple Penny video. This is the 41st time that I've done this year, believe it or not, how the year has flown. This week was insanely busy in the shop, and that's primarily due to those jiggers there. Those of you who are collectors of Australian mint product would know what that is, and we will talk a bit more about that a bit later. So they are, of course, the 2020 ambulance $2 rolls that landed this week, a week late. Well, let's jump into the news before I spoil it all. Right, so the 2021 $2 ambulance rolls shipped last week. They arrived last Wednesday. Anyone who expressed interest in picking them up in the shop, they would have been contacted last week, and if you managed to order some through our website on release day, Catherine is in the process of packaging those up and shipping them out today and tomorrow, so please watch out in your mailbox if you did order online. The ambulance C mint marks, we got an email last week saying that they were delayed and there was no time frame attached to that, but we did get another email late last week from them saying that they would start shipping today, so hopefully the C mints will be available for pickup in the shop sometime fairly soon. The releases for next month, probably the most interesting releases for next month is the 50-cent Steam Power coin, which comes in two formats. It comes in a credit card size card, and that credit card sized issue also comes in a collector folder because it's going to be the first of 6 or 7 coins. Unfortunately, that is delayed already. And I think these problems that the Mint is having are primarily packaging related. And I don't know if they're changing their formats of the packaging or they've changed their suppliers, but certainly everything seems to be packaging related. So we're not hopeful that we'll see those before the last half of November, but as always we will let you know what is going on as soon as we know. I do like the train issue. It's a nice design, it's a popular subject, and if you are, I guess, interested in collecting for future value, that's probably something that I'd put aside, because those train issues have tended to do well over time, and that is not investment advice, that's just my gut feel. And the last thing, bit of news for today, was the fact that the Royal Mint has actually released a list of the scarcest 50p coins, and 50 pence coins are amongst the most popular coins for British coin collectors to noodle in the UK. And the Mint actually released a list of what the scarcest ones in circulation were, and I just found that really interesting that the Mint has gone out of their way to put that list together, and the idea that is encouraging people to look at their change and collect coins. And I think that's a great move by one of the world's major coin producers to generate some interesting coins so that we don't go cashless any quicker than what we need to. We'll just get rid of this slide and say a few hellos to everyone out there. Thanks for joining in today. Matthew, hello. Edward Blackwood, good to see you here, mate. Mike, Ellery, John, Greg, Gwen, Leilani, Tracy, glad you could watch live. Thanks for coming in last week, Tracy. Dillis, Paul, Gary, Marie, Mr. Edwards, Trina, Ben Campbell, Ian Porter, and Paul Spink. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining in today. So, the next week, we've got 2 of these jiggers left over from our allocation. These were cancelled orders, so we've got 2 of these ambulance rolls. So with the official Mint hologram sticker there, and the sort of the tealy blue design, which is quite a bit different to what we thought it was going to be. and Catherine and I have decided that we will make these available at release price to video viewers next week. So all you have to do is tune in live next week and comment during the live video, and you can buy one of these two at release price. The last two that we've got at the moment, I believe on the secondary market they're selling for about $140 or $150. So if you didn't manage to get one of those rolls, then please join in next week. Comment live, so comments after the video has been posted won't count, just live comments, and you'll be able to buy one of those at release price, which is $100. So please join in next week and take part and have something to say, and you could have the chance of winning one of those. Now, I mean, winning the chance to buy one of those, I'm not giving it away. Topic of the week this week is another error this week, another error type. So this is what's called the Split Planchet error. This is a half of a 5-cent Split Planchet error. Now, a Split Planchet error happens when there is some sort of impurity or gas bubble or something like that that is rolled into the metal that the coin blank is made out of, and the two through the plane of the coin, I guess you'd call it, and there's no strong mechanical bond there, and the two halves actually split apart at some point. And the characteristic that you can look for that makes these real are the parallel lines that tend to run across the split portion of the coin, and those parallel lines are a result of the process that rolls out the metal that the blanks are made from. So if you are looking at buying one of these, do look for those parallel lines. Now, these can occur in a number of different forms, and I thought today what we'd do is we'd just run through the different forms that they can appear in. And if you are an error collector, or you're interested in perhaps collecting errors for investment reasons, then I thought we'd just touch on what to look out for these Split Planchet errors, perhaps to maximize your chances of seeing your error coins go up in value. So this is half of a Split Planchet coin, and it has split after it's struck. This is by far and away the most common type of Split Planchet error that you'll see. And why is that? Probably because they mostly split apart in circulation, or they split apart in the drums where they're stored at the mint, or in mint bags, and the two parts end up becoming separated, and they're not necessarily found together. So most common, and certainly in our experience, the two most common denominations that we see are 5-cent and 10-cent split halves. So this is the most affordable type of this error. If you're sort of looking for one of these, they're under $50 usually for half of one of these. Of course, you might pay more for better grade, but if you're just looking to dip your toes in the water, this is the one that I would be looking out for. Now, the next scarcest is the matching half coin. So this is a 50-cent piece that has split in half, and we've still got both pieces. Now, you might wonder why both pieces are still together, and I can tell you from actual real life experience, it's because often people find these coins and they just sound a bit funny. So you tap them on the table and they just sound a bit funny. And we've actually had someone come in here with one of these that sounded a bit funny, and we tapped it on the bench a few times and it split in half right there in front of us. So that's why you might find these together. Someone gets a coin, in their pay packet. I've had several people tell me they've got one of these in their pay packet. It sounds a bit weird. They've tapped it a few times and it's fallen apart, and they've kept both halves. So this is a good example of one of those coins. It's circulated for quite a while. The grade of the struck side is not the best, but the grade of the split side is excellent. It's lustrous and not damaged. So it is split apart some years after it entered circulation. Split halves like this, split pairs like this, are probably worth anywhere from sort of 2 to 4 times what the individual piece is. Probably closer to 4 times than 2 times. And it is just worth touching on denominations here. Some denominations are much scarcer than others. So 50-cent pieces, for example, are a lot scarcer than 5 and 10-cent pieces, as you would imagine. So next in order of desirability would be the mated pair split planchet. Now, this next one is pretty unusual. It's really just about the only one of its type that I've seen. It's a 2-cent piece that has an obvious split planchet error, but the fault only extends across half of the coin, and even better, whoever found this managed to keep the half that's come off. So this is extremely desirable for a number of reasons. One is that you've got the 2 parts still, which is very unusual. Usually that other part is lost. 2, it's on a very unusual denomination. We've only seen sort of less than 10 split planchet bronze coins. That's 1 and 2 cent pieces. Less than 10 in however many years we've been doing this for. And the fact that it's only half the coin makes it even more interesting. So for me, something like this is even better than a mated pair. And that's because it's partially split, and the scarcity of the denomination makes it even more interesting. So this is quite a remarkable coin. I remember when we bought it that I thought I'd wanted to keep it because I knew how unusual it was, but unfortunately I had to let it go. I think that if you can pick up something like this at the right price, then it's going to be a pretty good thing to have, because there won't be too many more of these showing up. Right, onto denomination. 1 and 2 cent pieces are much harder to find split than the copper nickel coins, and in fact, as I've already said, Catherine and I have seen less than 10 split 1 and 2 cent pieces. I think we've only ever seen 1 or 2 mated pairs. So to me, you know, even half a split like this on a 1 or a 2 cent piece is more desirable than a mated pair 20 or 50 cent piece. So you know, it's a pretty unusual thing to see. And even harder to find again are split planchet $1 and $2 coins. Aluminium bronze coins really just don't split in this way like the copper nickel coins. So that being said, never seen a split planchet $2 coin, but have seen one split planchet $1 coin. It's the only one we've ever seen, and the person that owned it, we made them an absolute crazy offer for it, and he still wouldn't sell it. So he knew how unusual it was. We know how unusual it is, and if you out there are ever interested in perhaps putting away a genuinely rare error, then a split planchet $1 or $2 coin would be right up there. They're certainly a lot rarer than double obverse and double reverse 1970s mint sport coins, and a lot rarer than wavy 2s and mules and things like that. And you know, if I was to see one in another dealer's books, they probably wouldn't appreciate what the value of it was, and I would be snaffling it up as quickly as possible. So scarce denominations are a lot more desirable than perhaps even complete pairs of 20 cent pieces and 50 cent pieces. And here's, for me, I guess the white whale of the split planchet era world, and these are split planchets that split. The blanks actually split before they were struck, and you end up with a coin that is then struck on effectively half a planchet, and you get remnants of the striations from the split planchet era on one side, and then a weak strike on the other side. Now, Catherine and I have only ever seen two split planchet Australian coins that were split before they were struck and then struck on. We own one, and I could not find a picture of it to save my life. We've got a 5 cent piece that was struck on a split planchet. Actually, we own 2. We've got a 50-cent piece as well, so I tell a lie, we've seen 3. Very unusual coins, very hard to find. And if you ever, Peter says he has a 5-cent that has been struck before it was split, and I think that's the one that I'm thinking of, the other one that I've seen. Very unusual, and if you ever are perusing dealers' books and you happen to see something that has been struck and you see these telltale striations on it, then I would just buy it. I wouldn't even bother looking at what the price was, because it's going to be worth more than whatever it is that they're asking. Just a stupendously scarce error. And as I said, I think I've seen 3 Australian ones in 15 years. They're very unusual. Right, so if I was, and I'm not advocating that we invest in coins here, because we all know what I think about investing in coins, but if I was advocating potentially seeing errors that go up in value, and you want to think about split planchet errors, then this is the order in which I would be thinking about buying them. Split before they're struck would be the most important. A part split would be probably the second most important, because those part splits are very unusual. You don't see those very often. Then I would be thinking about denomination, with the $2 and $1 split planchet by head and shoulders above the other denominations, and then the bronze coins next, and then the larger 50 cent, 20 cent, 10 cent and 5 cent and downwards. Both halves is usually always going to be better than 1/2, and 1/2 is the most common and the most affordable if you're just getting started. I didn't touch on clamshells. Clamshells are split planchets that haven't come all the way apart, and perhaps we'll cover those another day. They are, I guess, a little bit less desirable than the full splits, and they are also easily damaged. You do see lots of people sort of prying them open, trying to get them open, but I will cover those another day. So let's just go to some of the comments here, because there's been people saying things and I'm not responding. Ben has donated a couple of errors to us. Ben, you're going to have to remind me what those errors are, mate. Yeah, so if you could just send me a message, Ben, because if you have sent us something and I haven't acknowledged it, then I will do so in the future. Hello, Alan. See you, Trina. G'day, Greg. Peter, I've said hello to. Hello, Ian. And who else has said hello? Jeff. Jeff Heidemann says he's got one graded recently. Jeff, we'd love to see a picture of that, mate. I'd be happy to share that up on our Facebook page and tag back to your page if we could see a picture of that. And Simon has a really good question, and this is something that I thought about talking about, is a split planchet similar to a lamination peel? Yes, it is very similar. It's the same mechanic, if you like, Simon. It's metal that has improperly bonded, and lamination peels are sort of just small areas of metal that have improperly bonded with the rest of the coin, whereas a split planchet like this, you've really got the whole coin in 2 halves that have failed to join properly. So yeah, that's very closely related. Alan says he has half a split 5-cent coin. That's fantastic. And if you just look in the comments there, Peter has linked to his 5-cent struck on a split planchet. So thanks to that, Peter. I'm pretty sure that's what we've got. We've got one of those somewhere. I just can't find it. Right. That's it for today. Thanks everyone for joining in. Now, I just will remind you, if you've made it through to the end of the video, that next week, if you join in and comment during the live video, and it's important that you comment during the live video here, okay, comments that put up on YouTube or in the comments after the video appears on our Facebook page won't count, then I'll be choosing 2 people to be able to buy these rolls at release price, which is $100. They're sold out everywhere. They've got the genuine RAM hologram sticker on it, okay, and in the genuine RAM paper, head, tail. Okay, so 2 people next week will be able to buy one of these at release price. Alright, thanks everyone for watching. As always, it's been a blast. If you've got any questions that you'd like answered in these videos, please do message me, give us a call. I always like talking to people on the phone, or just drop us an email through our website, and I'm always looking for things to talk about. Thank you everyone for joining in. Thanks for everyone's comments. Thank you, Peter, for sharing your coin, and we'll be back next week. Everyone stay safe. Bye for now.